Well, this has got to be the worst cruise experience I've had since traveling on Carnival. Hey everybody, we have the second last episode of The Walking Dead DARYL DIXON, and I gotta say, I've been liking it so far. But I'm a little worried since we only have one more episode to go and a lot to wrap up. In this video, we'll be going over episode 5, that mysterious radio call, and Genet's plan for a new France. So grab your baguettes and make sure to like and subscribe because here we go. The title of this episode is Deux Amours, which translates to Two Loves, a reference to Quinn's Two Lovers. The song we hear at the beginning of the episode is Josephine Baker's I Have Two Loves, in which she describes her two loves as Paris and her country of France. Daryl, Laurent, and Aslan are making their way to the Nest, the Union of Hope's main base where Laurent will train to become the leader of their people, and from Aslan's watch we can see that the Nest is located in the city of Mont Saint-Michel. Aslan alludes to Daryl's journey being like that of Abraham, a man from the Bible who finds himself leaving his homeland to travel somewhere new. Quinn will also compare himself to Abraham. Abraham was told by God to sacrifice his son Isaac, and Quinn lets go of his son. As we'll find out, Quinn bribed one of Genet's guards to ensure Daryl and Laurent's safe passage out of Paris. We'll see this guard captured by Genet, and it's the reason for Quinn's imprisonment. This episode also gives us greater insight on how Daryl got to France. In the first of many flashbacks, we see Daryl with his motorcycle, the same one he left with at the end of The Walking Dead. It's completely out of gas, and this is where he meets Jones, a man who runs a zombie capturing business at the behest of one of Genet's scientists. In exchange for fresh zombies, he will be compensated with gas. This is the same scientist we saw in episodes 1 and 3. But why must this guy travel all the way to America for fresh zombies? Certainly France has more than enough of its own. My guess, the walkers in America are different. We've already seen how the French walkers are some sort of variant that can burn their victims. The scientists' experiments seem to take these regular zombies and turn them superpowered, as witnessed by the variant at the end of the episode who can climb stairs, is extremely fast and powerful. One of the things I thought was interesting was this shipping container filled with strobe lights that they call the party room. Zombies are attracted to the strobing lights, so this is likely an easier way to control them. Stopping by the side of the river, we learn that Laurent is a vegetarian, stating that he doesn't want to hurt animals, a promise he made to God. But when the choice is between eating an animal and starving, surely God can forgive. While Daryl teaches him how to gut a fish, Laurent wants to know who back at home Daryl misses. Among them are Judith and RJ, who he said goodbye to at the end of The Walking Dead, there's Connie and Ezekiel, and last but not least, Carol. We'll get to her in a bit. Isabel awakens after being drugged by Quinn to find herself in an opulent mansion. She learns that Laurent has safely made it out of the city, and now that Quinn has made good on his side of the bargain, it's time for her to make good on hers. Quinn wants that old Isabel back, and Isabel, she says, is locked away. And Quinn is willing to wait, telling her multiple times throughout the episode he is willing to put in the work to regain her love. Heck, he even brought her favorite Monet from the club to make her feel more at home. Laurent watches Aslan, a devout Muslim, pray. Remember that the Union of Hope isn't entirely Christian, but a union of multiple faiths that have rallied together around Laurent as this savior-like figure. I thought it was pretty sweet that even though Daryl doesn't believe in God, he overhears Laurent praying for Daryl's friends. Aslan tells Daryl that the Nest is led by a man named Losang, a name that translates to diamond. Surely this person can help Daryl with a boat to get back home. Daryl also mentions that it's a promise that drives him to get back home. I'm guessing it's his promise made to Carol.
Just gathering up some fuel. I'll be there in about a week. I promise.
Isabel doesn't have what it takes to kill Quinn, almost stabbing him with a shard she ripped from a mirror. He says it's just him and her now, meaning Anna is out of the picture, something she isn't too happy about. On the radio, Daryl manages to get in contact with Carol. He tells her he's about a week away, but the most interesting piece of information here is Carol telling Daryl that someone has come back. Unfortunately, the radio gives out and we can't tell who this person is, but my money is on either Michonne or Rick. We know that they have their own spin-off titled The Ones Who Live, coming out sometime in 2024. Back at camp, Aslan has fallen to a group of zombies. There's this smoky one over here who I'm guessing is one of the Brouillons, or flaming kind. Aslan gives Daryl his pocket watch with the engraving of Mont Saint-Michel and tasks Daryl with getting the kid to the nest. After burying him the next day, Daryl is furious when he finds someone has cut the rope to their boat, and that someone is Laurent. He says some pretty mean stuff here, like calling him a worthless shit and saying he should have left him, but it isn't until Laurent explains why he did this that Daryl has a change of heart. Everyone in Laurent's life has left him, and when Daryl drops him off at the nest, he'll leave him too. He just doesn't want to be alone. Speaking of someone who's alone, Isabelle contemplates suicide, but notice how her demeanor changes once she receives this secret message. Marie, the servant, exclaims that it's from one of Isabelle's friends. We never find out what's on this message, but soon after she reads it, she tells Quinn she's willing to try and make their relationship work. She goes from almost suicide to accepting Quinn. Maybe this message tells her that Quinn will be arrested. Maybe it tells her that Laurent and Daryl have been caught. But who exactly sent it? It could be Anna, but she's not necessarily Isabelle's friend. It could be someone from the nest. It could also be Falou, Emile, or Sylvie, who we'll see have come to attend Genet's show. This must also mean the servant, Marie, is in on it, for if there was anything incriminating in this message and she was on Quinn's side, she surely would have told her boss. Laurent tells Daryl he doesn't want to go to the nest, rather to go with him back to America. Laurent's never had a father figure except for Father John back at the Abbey, but their conversation is cut short when a group of Genet's men can be seen in the distance. Daryl tells Laurent to follow the river until he comes across Mont Saint-Michel. He's going to take down these men all by himself, a task that sees him actually getting caught. And Daryl is pretty friggin' tough. He's willing to lose his eye rather than divulge the whereabouts of the kid. But Laurent doesn't listen to Daryl and reveals himself, saving Daryl's eye. In another flashback, we see how Daryl got on that tanker. He got in an altercation with a man named Juno who purposely killed a kid named TJ in order to get another quart of gas. It seems his fight with the man was enough to get him imprisoned on the tanker. Quinn presents Isabelle with some gorgeous diamonds as they make their way to Genet's. She has invited people from all over France, including the Union of Hope, to witness a very special event. She's also called this De Gaulle Day, no doubt a nod to Charles de Gaulle, the French president and leader of the Free French people during World War II. De Gaulle led the establishment of the Fifth Republic, and here Genet says she's bringing about the Sixth. We'll see Falou, Emile, and Sylvie in line for the event. They don't look like prisoners, rather witnesses to what's about to transpire. Anna has turned on Quinn, informing Genet about his bribe to get Laurent and Daryl out of Paris. This ends with Quinn imprisoned alongside Daryl, who says he's sorry for getting caught. Isabelle is reunited with Laurent, who has gotten some time to familiarize himself with Genet. It seems Genet wants to use Laurent as a prop to control the Union of Hope, wanting him to make an appearance at her event to show the people she's not their enemy. One line I found really interesting here was Laurent saying,
"Vous êtes pas en colère. Vous avez le cœur brisé."
It makes me think Genet lost a child, and this is what motivates her. She wants to protect people because she wasn't able to protect her own child. After all, she lives in a home literally called Mother's House, and the way she held that baby in episode 3 was really creepy. The tanker is filled with zombies fresh for experimentation. We'll see two signs here, one that says do not feed and another that says feed. So maybe there are some experiments on how zombies react based on how much they've had to eat. Knowing he's just going to be used as zombie feed, Daryl fakes an illness and uses the opportunity to kill his captors, freeing the zombies in the process to make his escape. In the fray, the variant zombie who is chained up escapes, narrowly killing Daryl before he drops a lifeboat and is knocked out. This occurred somewhere on the Gulf of Cadiz, and he'll float for several days before landing in the south of France. Genet makes an impassioned speech about ushering in a new France, one that offers a hope for the future while crushing the enemies of the past. Enemies she refers to as being the ones who, quote, gave us this disease. But I'm not exactly sure what she hopes to accomplish by creating super zombies. It seems just as bad as creating the zombies themselves. To her, the cure to the zombie curse must come from the zombies themselves. This is in direct opposition to the belief of the Union of Hope, who believe the cure is Laurent. Now it looks like Daryl must fight off one of these variant zombies whose eyes turn jet black and veins pop after being injected with an unknown substance. substance. It's likely whatever the scientist was testing on a few episodes ago, however, that ended with the zombie self-exploding in under 18 seconds. Will this zombie meet the same fate, or have the scientists perfected their serum in order for these superpowered zombies to last longer? Well, it seems Caudron knows what's going to happen as he tells Daryl today is the day he dies. Remember, Caudron thinks Daryl killed his brother, but that was actually Maribel, who we saw once in episode 1 and never heard from again. So the question then becomes, where do we go from here? There's only one more episode left in the season and a whole ton of questions yet to be answered. So now we head over to the trailer sleuthing section to see what's in store. And there it is, Mont Saint-Michel, the home of the nest. We'll see Daryl walking away from it alone, suggesting that he is successful in getting Laurent there. Daryl at a cemetery with different faiths. Is this a World War II gravesite or something the Union has put together since they're all from different faiths? Daryl, Isabelle, Sylvie, and Laurent with a big fire in the background. It suggests they all make it out alive from Maison Mère. Daryl fights off some zombies on a hilltop, and if you look closely you can see what could be a German World War II bunker. I could be wrong, but I found these images of bunkers on the French coast surrounded by grass that looks a lot like the ones in the trailer. Here's Caudron holding Sylvie and Laurent at gunpoint. Maybe Sylvie tries to help Laurent escape. In this underground tunnel, Daryl stabs a Genet soldier zombie with an axe that looks like it could be this same axe he was given to defend himself against the variant zombie. So it looks like Laurent and Daryl survive, but somehow get split up. Isabelle is separated from Laurent, but later in the trailer we'll see her fight off what appears to be Zombie Quinn. Laurent here takes Daryl's axe and kills his own father, that is if you believe it's really his dad. Emile helps Daryl get out of some chains, and here we see Daryl in some old abbey. I would not be surprised if this is the nest. Perhaps he's contemplating leaving Laurent. The way this zombie just rips itself off of Daryl's axe is pretty crazy. Daryl's gonna have one hell of a fight. But then there's also Caudron to contend with. With this being the season finale, I would not be surprised if he ends up dead. But now I turn it over to you. What do you think will happen in the final episode? I want to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And for more bad takes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.